there's more and more players entering into the market, some that are skilled, some that are not. It's making it very difficult for consumers to make a buying decision because there is a lot of noise and things on the internet and ads. As the dental implant market has become more competitive, what have you seen as like a trend or something that's working for getting new traffic for dental implants? Have you seen anything different or new lately?
The advancing with AI, before you've got to either have a large team in your office to
Yep.
handle all those leads, or you third party that to a call center, and whether that's in the States or out of the States, whoever you use has to be trained. They have to be trained on sales. They have to be trained on your sales process. They have to be trained and educated on the procedure. One of the advantages in a competitive market is how quickly do you respond? If you've got actual people working for you, how much coverage do you have? Guy that has someone that can answer 24/7 and on the weekends is going to beat the guy that has someone answering from
Right.
9 to 5. AI has really started to open this up where you've got the ability to have someone answer questions that's trained and knows everything about your practice particularly and can answer those questions and get that patient scheduled and respond immediately. And so that's huge, and that's a big competitive advantage, I think.
Also, I would say something that doctors are going to have to start doing in terms of getting out of their comfort zone is they actually do need to really market themselves. I know paying for cold traffic on Google and Facebook, you can do that. But I think a lot of times they skip over the importance of having an organic presence on the social media platforms, having various ways for people to opt in. What I'm finding is not everybody's ready to make a buying decision when they land on your website. And most of the time, most dental offices or most health businesses don't have anything for you to do other than make an appointment. So what if I'm not ready to make an appointment? Is there anything I can watch? Is there anything that I can read? Do you have some sort of like digital magazine where I can do like a flip book and I can look through all of your before and afters? Like, give me some options. Help educate me. And I would like to encourage, and I'm happy to share this with your Full Arch Buying Group, they got to be present on multiple sources. You can't just rely on one thing. If you have referrals, figure out how to get more from your referrals. Like, I just feel like some of those steps are missed, and it makes it hard to continuously grow.
One of the things that made us most successful was our focus on the social media aspect.
Facebook,
and
you were
building-
crushing it.
and building local authority. We invested heavily in video content creation, and we took two different approaches to it. One was, we wanted to build authority for the doctor in our area, and we did that by creating educational content that we would put out into the community for free. We're not asking anything of them. We're just educating. And when you're educating and you're not trying to make a sale, that puts you at a level of authority. And then two, we would also then focus on the patient journey, that end result, their testimonials, what it was like to come in and actually get the procedure and what it's like afterwards. Now, we kind of use those two things to really create a lot of buzz and a lot of organic traffic on our social media sites. I remember like one of the funny stories was like my brother, who is a dentist, and he came to me one day and he's like, dude, what are you guys doing on social media? He's like, it's crazy. He's like, people are coming in and going, you're that famous dentist. And he's like, I am not a famous dentist. I just come here and work every day. And they're like, no, I see you.
Authority.
Day,
Yeah.
all coming up on my feed all the time. And these patients would come in and they already felt like they knew him. That makes that sales process that much easier, that comfortability. And then the doctor's basically going to educate them on what they need, but they've already been educated before they come into the office.
Let's be honest too. I think that you also have, and probably still have, a certain amount of like entrepreneurial kind of hustle. You're willing to do the work to get new business and find new ways to grow. I thought where you were going with Facebook is when you were actually responding to comments and getting people from the comments into a DM and then scheduling consultations. That was gangster. I remember you were doing that.
I try to teach scalable things.
I know.
When I teach doctors, I don't teach them things that they're not going to be able to do. But that goes back to the response time, right? And that's why the AI is great. I would be working, and what we did, instead of having them go to a landing page, I would just have the call to action button be a messenger on Facebook. And I was the admin on all of our Facebook pages. Now, this was when we were at 3 or 4 offices. When we got to 9, I had to tap out. But people would message me and I would answer their questions and then move them kind of down the sales process and get them scheduled. I think it was an advantage because of how quickly I could respond. Whereas, someone clicks and it takes you to a landing page and they go in and they put their information and they hit send. How long till you get a response? Man, they would message me on Facebook and like they'd be astounded, like, hey, I'm right here. What's up? What questions can I answer? And then I would have a full-blown conversation with them and get them in the door. And so that was a big advantage. At the time, I was single. Now I have
Mhm.
kids. There'd be no way I could do it now.
Mhm.
When you probably go home and you have kids and like, I don't expect you to be on Facebook Messenger, like I was, like a madman. But that just goes to show you if you've got someone, and that's where AI is great with that's immediately responding and answering questions, you've got them right away in this time of instant gratification. If you can give that to the patient, then you're more likely to get them in the door.
If you found this clip from the Power Moves Health Marketing Podcast to be helpful, then check out the next video or watch the full episode here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next big move in health marketing. Thanks for watching.